Hello, my name is Denise Hurley, and this is Harmonies, a conversation with the Rafters. This is a show about conversations and music with musicians that are in the local scene. It is my pleasure to welcome Dave Fitzgibbons and Mickey Byron Fitzgibbons to our show. They're ready to play a couple of songs for us, and then once we do that, then we'll dive into finding out more about who they are. So welcome, and looking forward to listening to your music.
Cost me $1. Never thought I'd shop there as I straightened my collar. Didn't get the job, they just called me back, saying I had too much experience. I lied. We got daddies on the corners, 3-piece suits with a sign in their hand saying they'd work for food. They're on top of the world one day, but nothing's for sure. When they walk you out, take your badge at the door. You need a little breathing room. You need a little breathing room. Send all the money overseas when our babies are hungry. Nothing's for free. This the same country that we all know. When you work your whole life but got nothing to show. Need a little breathing room. Need a little breathing room. Wish I could see into tomorrow, just to wipe away your worry for the day. Give you a little breathing room. Sign went up in our front yard, these choices we made. Be real hard, ask yourself, go or stay, and pass this chance that might go your way. Get a little breathing room. Get a little breathing room. A breathing room. Get a little breathing room.
Thank you. Look at all the places we've been. Some only once, never to return again. All the people we've met, some are lovers and there's others they will never forget. In the blink of an eye, she started to laugh and then she started to cry. I said, so long, gone goodbye, gone goodbye. Time is ticking, oh, it's ticking away.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I've lost count of all the hours, the times we played. To closing time. dancing in the rain underneath the stars. In the blink of an eye, I started to laugh and then I started to cry. I said, so long gone goodbye, gone goodbye. And there's a ringing in my ear. After all these years, give me one more year. Blink of an eye, we start to laugh and then we start to cry. I said, so long gone goodbye, so long gone goodbye, so long gone goodbye, gone goodbye, so long gone, gone goodbye, so long gone. Gone goodbye, so long, gone, gone goodbye, so long, gone, gone goodbye. Thank you. All right.
Oh, that was great. Thank you guys so very much.
Thank you, Denise.
Love it. All right, well, you guys have been good friends of ours for a very, very long time, and I have to say, I'm a fan, pure and simple. Always have, always will be.
Do you remember the first show we did with you guys?
The first,
It was a test.
oh my God.
It was with the Laws up at...
That's right, at the Perkins School.
At the Perkins School.
Yes, I remember that. Oh my God, now I
So,
do, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, very first time.
Tilly was only a baby.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So it was good.
Oh, good. Okay, well, okay. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourselves? You know, the history of the Rafters. How did you start? Just let us know who you are.
Well, I'm Dave.
I'm Mickey.
And together, we're married, we're the Rafters. We've been together as a couple for 20 years now, 22 years.
22 years.
Wow.
And Dave's been in bands forever, it seems. I've always played the guitar, but never played shows outward until about 7 years ago when we
First started.
started together.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing in bands, and Mickey started playing with a couple of friends, and the friends wanted to play a lot more than we could commit with a family, right?
Right.
So we ended up playing together, and we've been playing now for about 7 years.
Wow.
So
That's a long time.
yeah.
That's a real long time. So why don't you tell us a little bit of what's going on, what's in the works, what kind of projects are going on, just, you know.
So we just recently released a live CD,
Okay.
and that was at the Wachusett Music Festival,
Yes.
which you guys run.
Yes.
And we recorded that back in 2013. It took a while to get the production done and the editing and the CDs, but I think we released that last fall.
Yeah. Right.
And that we've gotten a lot of good response for that one.
Really? Great.
It was purely live, no overdubs, no fixes.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
That was fun for you, wasn't it?
That was a great
was
show.
amazing.
And
It was good to capture that day. It was.
Yeah, I think you guys did a really great job of doing that on the CD. I
Yeah.
enjoy it very much. I listen to it all the time.
Playing with Amy Ray was
of course,
Oh,
the
yes.
headliner
Amazing.
of the show
Yeah.
is Amy Ray, and
Amazing.
Mickey and I are big Indigo Girl fans.
Right. Right.
How many times have you?
Yeah.
maybe 83 times. I missed them in Providence this year.
Oh, did
but
you?
that
We've
hurt
slowed
a
down
little
now
bit.
with the 3 kids.
Right.
But Chloe's been probably 7 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's a fan as well?
Yes.
Okay. How about Tilly?
They're all fans.
They're all
so.
fans?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, why don't you tell me about the new CD that's coming out?
Yeah, so we have a new CD. We have 3 studio CDs, which we've done at my house. We have a home studio, and I mainly handled the production for the first 3 CDs, and we felt like we hit a bit of a wall on where we could take the music. And so for the CD we just finished, we may have a copy for you here today.
Awesome.
Maybe.
That would be great.
But we just finished it with a producer. We did look around for producers for this one. We wanted to kind of take the next step, have someone on the outside try to look at what we were doing, and we probably looked at 4 or 5 different producers, ended up with a guy named Crit Harmon, which I think you guys know.
We did meet. Now, why'd you pick Crit? What was the reasoning behind that?
So, for me, went down when we were kind of interviewing or just meeting, you know, different producers. Crit was the one guy who sat with me for 2 hours and just talked. Said, you know, what do you like about music? Why are you, trying to use a producer? Why don't you think you can do it at home? Why are you here, and what are you trying to do? And really dug into it. And then at the end of it, he said, I think I understand what you're looking for, and you're looking to define a sound for your next CD. And he said, I have a vision from the CDs you've given me. He came to see us live a couple times. And he talked about that vision, and I said, that's exactly what we're looking for, someone to help us do that. So it resonated, with me, what he said, and so we ended up going with Crit, and it was a great experience. I think Crit's more Mickey-like than I'm.
Oh, okay.
I love Crit.
Mickey-like.
Well, we had talked when we first met. I had gone down to talk to him after Dave had met with him, and I do graphic design, which you know. And I'll be working on the CD design, and I'll throw all these things, on the canvas, knowing full well that not everything's going to stay. And then slowly you pull things away and to what you're going to keep. But it's kind of the process that he's very similar in that he had all of these things, and may make someone nervous that likes to not have that going on, who can't see the final, but I could always see along the process where he was going. I'm like, and he would tell us that along the way, that, I'm just throwing this here, just so I can, go over it and say, I know that doesn't belong there. Unless you put it there, you don't know.
That's right.
And he came at it with, just a different perspective, which was nice. Which sometimes we have different styles sometimes, but we always come together. But to kind of take a little bit from each of us, and then to hear what he came up with to blend those two things, which where we may not have seen things, it was pretty amazing to see that.
Yeah, he had an interesting perspective on what he'd call "girl with guitar," and he said, I don't want to make a record that's girl with guitar for you guys, for us. And which was interesting because it's like, well, we're a girl and a guy with a guitar, but we'll see. And I understood what he meant, and when you get to hear it, hopefully you'll feel what he was going for, which is I want to focus on the song, focus on Mickey's voice and the lyrics and the feeling of the song, and really create that feeling and kind of tapestry of what we're trying to do there. So it for me, it was a great learning experience.
Nice. Sounds like a great fit. It really does.
Well, we'll see when you listen to the CD.
I can't wait to hear it.
And he's a Walking Dead fan, so.
Oh, there you go.
We kind of talked music, and then the last one's like, what about Michonne? Or what about this? So it's neat. It's fun.
Adds to the relationship, right? Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about the CD itself, the inspiration behind the music and the songs that are written for the CD, and give me a little bit about that.
So we went into this CD, we had a bunch of songs, a bunch of new songs, we had some old songs that we redid, and what we really focused on was Crit saying, and us together, saying we want to kind of redefine a sound and have a really cohesive feeling, sound. So when you put the CD in, you say, oh, that's Dave and Mickey, the Rafters, and it really has a sound to it.
Okay.
So from a sonic standpoint, that was kind of the production side of it, right?
Right.
From the writing side of it, you know, Mickey, some of the songs were older, some of them were newer, but all, you know, seemed to have a general theme of, you know, hope in there, and kind of through your daily activities.
Right. Okay. All right. So songs of hope. Is that how you would define them?
It's so funny whenever people describe the songs, because from where I come from, they come from a different place, but they always end up hopeful. So I guess that's maybe what I try to do in my life. Like a lot of the songs will come from something that's really not that pleasant. And how I pull through that is kind of where the song goes.
Okay.
So whether, for me, it's hard to say, yeah, they're all songs of hope and happy, but that's not where they usually
Where they
start from.
Originated
For
from.
me.
For
But
you.
if that's
Right.
what people take from that, then I guess that's kind of the message that comes through me, that, okay, if you're going through this, then there is hope, or to look at.
So that's a
that
nice
you'll be
way for
okay.
that to develop, even though it's coming from a different, but for people to take that message away, so it must make you feel pretty good.
It does, it does.
When you get that kind of feedback from your fans, or someone who first hears your music too. You know, so
It's always interesting too to hear, you know, people will ask, so what was that one about this? And sometimes you don't want to define what that is, because it's whatever it would mean to you, because it specifically came from this instance, but it could spread to other things.
to something else that, okay, all right. Okay, so when, has a CD been released yet, or when's the
Not yet.
release?
We're still thinking about what to do with the CD.
Okay,
Will we have a CD release party? Will we not? Will we do? We've talked about doing kind of these smaller shows, like a listening event,
Right.
and then, you know, maybe some home concerts. Or we're still kind of working through what we're going to do with it. But we know we don't. Right now, we're not feeling like doing a traditional
right,
type of thing that we've done before many times, which a lot of bands do, which is you have a release, you have a big CD release party, and you have a few shows, you know. But we're trying to look at this differently.
I guess would we announce what the title of it is, may make that seem like more sense?
Sure.
Or is that, so the new title is called Departing.
party,
It's
okay.
the name of the CD, yeah.
So the first three, you know, recorded albums, we kind of just were moving along, and they kind of had a set to them. If you see the covers, they're very similar, like they
Right.
were set, and we felt, you know, our kids are kind of, we're done with that phase.
Right.
And that was
Okay.
the family phase,
Right.
and we kind of were in that, so that's what the songs were about. And now we're kind of coming out of that and coming back to who we are, and
Okay.
rethinking, you know, and working with Crit to try to sit down and say, who are we now?
So redefining who you are as musicians?
Or even defining what we have been through all of the children and
With the
all of this stuff. But we're the same people, but now we're kind of, okay, here's who we are.
Okay.
Rather than, it's still about family and things, but
But it's coming back to the focus on you as a couple or as artists?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm really looking at trying to change and moving into a new direction, kind of departing
Okay, yep.
the old into the new.
Okay.
And
and not that it was bad. We're
No,
just
no,
ready
no.
to, you know, it seemed like the three, and if you look at them together, it's a set. And rather than continue that phase, we're ready to
This is
kind of move
the next phase?
the next
Yes.
phase.
Okay, okay, all right. Now, it's a 5-song CD?
Yep.
Why? Now that's very different from most CDs. I mean, there's 10 songs or whatever, 12 songs or whatever. Now you're just doing the 5 songs. What's the thinking behind that?
So we did think quite a bit about, what we wanted to do. 5 songs, 10 songs, 2 songs, 3 songs, 1 song, what is it we're going to do? And if we step back and look at the goal of what we were trying to do, which was really have a cohesive, tight sound and message, with a single CD, we felt that, 5 songs right now, there's a lot of other acts doing 5 songs EPs, and some of my favorite local CDs are 5-song CDs, right? Okay. Because, you put this CD in, it's like this short little burst of 5, hopefully what we would consider our best songs, right, or the act's best songs. And it's about as much as, if I think personally, right, I don't buy CDs much any longer, right, anyways, right? And I often will get a 10, 12, 14-song CD, and even an artist that I really like and follow it, I'm like, it's too much. I can't consume 14 songs any longer, or I'm picking through these songs, right, saying there's 3 or 4 songs that it really resonate with me, right? So our thinking on going to go on 5 was, let's try something different for us. We've released 10 songs and really stay to a tight message, tight sound, and I guess it begs the larger question around where's CDs going,
right? Yeah.
Right, and we struggle with that ourselves. Like, do we print CDs? Do we just do online? Now, we like CDs, we like the physical, and I think from live shows we still need them. But do we need CDs? Like, you're a promoter and someone who manages bands, and you get a lot of CDs, or do you get CDs anymore, or is it all online?
Well. Personally, a lot of the submittals are online. EPKs, the CDs it's kind of slowed down in terms of people sending me a physical press kit. So you go online and you listen. You have EPKs, YouTube. Someone sends me a link to listen to like one song, Reverb Nation. So there's all this different avenues for me to hear music now, as opposed to getting the physical CD. But I do agree with you that, especially at shows, you want to have product, and you want to be able to sell that to someone who likes your music. That's when you're playing live, they want to take that home with them. So actually, this is a good way to go into my next question about the industry itself. You and I talked about how we're seeing the industry changing, the music industry changing, and the way things are presented. What's your take on how things are changing?
Well, I think, if talking about CDs, I have a 13-year-old, we have a 13-year-old daughter, and she's never bought a CD in her life, right, and nor will she ever, right? And she just...
Unless we buy them and say, this is a CD, and I think we have something to play it on. Let me show you.
But, so, if you look at it like that, right, she'll never buy a CD.
Right.
And then you go, up to me, who loves CDs. I love physical product, and even I have stopped buying CDs. Like, I think we've bought the Brandy Carlisle CD and a Laurie McKenna CD and the Amy Ray CD in the past 3 years.
I still like I struggled, I think, the hardest, because being a designer, I like to have the tangible thing. Right. And I think everything's just so quick, which you're kind of forced to jump into the river. You can't, I can hang back as long as I can, without moving forward, but I text now, which was huge. 2 years ago, I had there are some people that are resistant to that. Yeah,
I text very little.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same when you went from albums to cassettes, right? I thought it was such a big deal to get a record and to be able to look at this big thing with art, and you'd open it up, and that's about all you really knew of the artist, right?
Right.
And maybe you'd get some magazine that might have an article about him, right?
Right.
But now it's, you know, if you want to know anything about an artist, it's Facebook and Twitter, and you can see every
Google
concert
anything.
online on YouTube.
Right.
Whether
So-
it's true or not, you know.
But it's, you know, so I think from a recording standpoint, it's changing, and I know a lot of friends of mine in bands were struggling to understand what to do, right? But I think for right now, seems to still make sense to
To produce a CD.
produce CDs.
Even at, you know, the shorter version of it with the 5 songs. It
Yeah.
makes more sense to do that. And what about, you know, the live music, going to shows and playing gigs? How do you feel that's going these days for
Well,
musicians?
it's interesting because if I look back 10 years ago, even, you know, it doesn't seem that long ago, but 10 years ago, more people went out.
Right.
You know, nowadays, I think people have so much ability to, you know, the 500, 600 channels on your cable, right? You have YouTube, you have concert window.
Right.
So, you know, do I want to go out and spend $15 for a ticket and drive, and then, you know, dinner maybe if it's someplace that's serving dinner and drinks, and next thing you know, it's $100 a night, or do I just turn on YouTube and watch the recording of it that
Right.
someone...
Yeah.
So it's been, you know, I think that the shows that we just played a show that was when they're created as special events, you know, in places that maybe typically you don't have a show.
Right.
We're still seeing a good, you know, support out
Good
there.
support. So is that the way things may go in terms of doing a show, producing a show, is make it a special event, do something that entices the audience to come in to see you and not just do a coffee house scene, but do something else, make it special, do, you know, add something to that somehow to get people to come out to see you?
It's tough. It's tough because of the way things are going. I'm hoping that either things come to a halt, like with anything, and people realize, like, wait, like I miss going out and being at a place where other people appreciate this music that I appreciate. You know, everyone's home alone.
Right, right.
So maybe there'll come a point where everything just stops, and then we'll come back in fashion again. You know,
Right,
which happens
right.
in history with everything. And then it's going to be, you know, Chloe's wearing 80s things now, where I'm like, wait, those are my sneakers. And they're new now. So I'm
Right.
hoping that that does happen, and you kind of take what was good and you appreciate that later on. So hopefully the good things that we've gone through will survive
And come back.
and come
again.
back again.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, you ready to do some more music for us? I would love to have you
Okay.
do a couple more songs for us. All right.
All right.
So,
All right.
Dave and Mickey, the Rafters.
Green card?
This was on there.
Driving down the highway in a little green car, heading out to catch your show at some local bar. The girls are playing on the radio, hand is swimming out that window. Knew that girl across the road. It's funny how lives unfold on the field, late September, heart of gold. I'll remember. Here we are, another on the way, looking down, the words to say. My mind is smiling, but a little sweatshirt shorts on a local bar. The girls are playing on the radio. Hand is swimming out that window. Here we are, another on the way, looking down, words to say. Your mind is smiling, but a little afraid, losing time, using up our. Here we are, another way, looking down, using up our days. Using up our days. Using up our days. Driving down the highway in my little green car.
Thank you.
My body's changing, but my mind still thinks the same. An old man told my daddy on a bench one day. I remember the look upon his face. Will that happen to me? Today in my reflection, cruel reality. It's happened to me. There's always been this inner fire burn within. I'm not above the grace of God in all my sin, and I will fight you to the ground again and again. But I should know by now that no one really wins. Still, I'll never give in, never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. That'll never be me, I said. Never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. That'll never be me, I said. Never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. That'll never be me. But in this game of life, no one holds that key. Wish it could be. My body's changing, but my mind still thinks the same. An old man told my daddy on a bench one day. I remember the look upon his face. Will that happen to me? Today in my reflection, cruel reality. It's happened to me. Never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. That'll never be me, I said. Never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. That'll never be me, I said. Never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. That'll never be me, I said. Never gonna grow up, never gonna grow old. that'll never be me, I said.
Thanks a lot. Right. This next one's on the new CD as well.
Pulled up to your house, everything had changed. The ribbon was gone from the old oak tree. So I closed my eyes to see your face. You're waving goodbye from that old gate. Stayed for a while, for old time's sake. Gonna write you a letter and seal it with a kiss. Put it away and pull it out on the day you miss me. Gonna write you a letter and fold it with my hand. Pull it close to your heart. Feel the love withstands time. We're moving way too fast. It's full steam ahead. And if you ask me, I would trade for simpler times instead. But our lives are saved to clouds. No eye to eye, we're looking down. Where will we be when the sun goes out? I'm gonna write you a letter and seal it with a kiss. Put it away and pull it out on the day you miss me. I'm gonna write you a letter and fold it with my hand. Pull it close to your heart. Feel the love withstands time. I'm gonna write you a letter and seal it with a kiss. Put it away and pull it out on the day you miss me. I'm gonna write you a letter and fold it with my hand. Pull it close to your heart. Feel the love withstands time. 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 Time.
All right, thank you. All right. Thanks so much. We'll come visit you, Denise.
Come back and visit, yes. Great songs, wonderful song. Now, I have a question about the songwriting process. Now, does the dynamics of the two of you as a couple, and you've been together a long time, how does that, it must make things interesting in the songwriting process.
Let me ask you this, Denise.
Yes.
When you're going to make dinner together with somebody you've been together with a long time, how does that work out?
When you make dinner with
Yes.
someone? It depends.
There you go. No, we have a good, I think we've kind of gotten into a good groove together.
Okay.
We typically write alone. You know, so Mickey
Oh.
will write her songs
Okay.
on her own, and I'll write my songs kind of on my own. And then we come together, as the songs are kind of being written, we're passing each other in the kitchen or the basement, and
Okay.
And she's hearing, oh, he's got a new song, or I hear, oh, she's got a new song. And then at some point when they're about ready, we'll play the song for one another.
Okay.
And then at that point, we typically, you know, Mickey will come in and say, oh, well, what if I did it, you know, she'll add her parts, you know, to my song. What if I did a background thing here, or
Okay.
a harmony here, or repeated a line here, you know. And from that, then maybe I'll go back and rework some things, you know, that I'd written, and then, you know, Mickey she'll have a song, and then I'll listen to it and say, oh, what if we, you know, added the bridge, instead of the bridge, put it at the beginning, and so we'll work on the song together, but typically the songs are written alone, you know,
Alone, okay.
individually. Yep.
All right. Interesting. I never knew that. I always thought that, you know, that you were working together.
Well, and we
on
have different
styles.
I guess knowledge and style too.
Okay. So you can map each song differently in its birth.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I typically will start with, you know, some sort of feeling, you know, if I'm writing a song about, well, on the last CD, we had a song, Take My Hand, right, which was inspired about kind of people who never give up on somebody, right?
Okay.
So you kind of have that feeling. I don't even have the words, or there's no, you know, lyric to it per se, but I'll start playing the guitar to match that, however that feeling is coming across. And then from the guitar parts and the chords, and then I gotta mumble words that are melodies, and then the lyrics tend to come last for me.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did it work the same for you?
You know, it's funny.
I can't wait to find out.
We might be similar. Well, what happens with me, it's usually something that I lose sleep over, or
Okay.
you know, it's something I until I started writing songs,
Mhm.
which was about that 7 years ago or so, was when
Okay.
I wrote my first song. I'd always just played, but I never thought to, and I wrote poems and things like that, but
Okay.
never, I'm going to write a song. But when I did start writing songs, it would come from something that either happened, or a snapshot of a memory or something that I just can't get out of my head.
Right.
Or someone is, you need to,
Yep. Well,
someone needs to hear this, or,
and that's how it.
and that's how it comes. And normally it's I'll play the guitar and just kind of, and then it comes from there. And sometimes I'll write like one thing, and then it builds from there. Oh, I know there's a song there. And
So you guys work really well together then, putting these songs together and building on them and adding to them, and until they, and I know it takes a while to really polish your songs. I know when you first start out, you know, and then you add to it later after playing it out a few times. And
Yeah, I think that's important to play it, you know, in front of people.
Right.
Right. And it could be just, you know, the people here.
Right.
It could be, you know, 4 people at our house, or a concert, you know, where there's more people. But I think that playing the song live and understanding kind of the form and the dynamics of how the song is flowing, you know, really can help the song. And I think that's we talked about the new CD. We redid some songs because we recorded them originally just as we hadn't played them out a lot, you know, and then the songs changed over time as we started performing them, you know, in front of people, and kind of feeling the energies where it would go. So I think for us, we've learned that, you know, we shouldn't just write the song, play it in our kitchen and record it. We need to go out and perform it and really start to understand, you know, the song from that perspective, because it changes, you know, what you do.
Right.
We end up, you know, adding a part here and there, or taking things away, even more importantly sometimes, right?
so it sounds like you two have mastered the process between the two of you. No?
It's evolving.
You have your moments?
I would say that this is kind of what I do. I'll write a song and I will play it over and over, and it could be just
like a stream of consciousness type of how I write songs.
Right.
And then I'll know, and Dave will come out when I'm ready to let him listen. When it's we always promise it that this is not done. This is not to just and this part. And as you're singing it, you're like, no, this part I'm just going to say this. But form-wise, that's where he helps me the most. Of sometimes, you know, but in my mind, I'm like, but that's just what I need to say, and he understands that. That I don't think in terms of this is music structure,
Right.
and how it should be.
Okay.
As a rule follower.
Right. Okay.
You know, and
Yeah.
and I think you're trained.
I'm more
trained
trained
to
to be more, you know, a verse is 4 measures, and then there's a pre-chorus and a chorus, and then a...
That doesn't come into
Right.
play with
Right.
me. So that's where we kind of, and we understand that. And then we get through that, like, okay, but I really like that part. He's like, well, let's see how we can fit it in. And it usually either gets chopped, and then I get over it, and I sing it on my own like that. But in the end, it is the right decision.
Right.
And I bow down and say, okay, all right. That was a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's taken time for us to get to the place where I can trust what she's doing and
I feel
say,
like we're in therapy.
Denise, what's this costume? We're having a breakthrough.
So you know, I appreciate that help.
But
Form and
yeah, it's
you understand my, you know, my mixed canvas.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, some of your music, I know you didn't really want me to ask this question, but I'm going to, has a spiritual vibe to it. And can you talk a little bit about what that means to you when you write songs about spirituality?
I can't, and most of my songs, whether people would realize it or not, it's just, and you understand this, it's just what I know exists and what is here. So it's where it comes from. So there's certain songs that, whether they're messages from someone else through me, that's probably why I lose sleep, because I feel I need to get it out, and either it's a message from my father, from his brother, or something like that, where I know, okay, I can't rest until it's done. So, and I believe what you believe, that it does come from a different place. So as my job, I feel I need to get this message to somebody, and that's kind of where a lot of the songs come from.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I really want to thank you guys for coming out today. This was a wonderful experience for me, and I hope for our audience. And I just really appreciate you being here. So, can you tell us anything coming up, any gigs coming up that you want to let people know about?
We have, of course, all of this is up on our online Facebook and our website.
Okay. What's your website?
It's theraftersband.com, and we have a nice house concert coming up on April 18th, which is in support of these folks do a lot for the past 10 years have been working to raise money for bringing clean water to some places in Africa, so that's just help support that, and that'll be a nice event. We have, I think it's May 2nd at the Bridgewater Coffee House with Laurie Diamond in front of Kelly, right?
Great.
Great. So that'll be a nice one, a big one to do, and yeah, there's a few other little things in there, but.
So everybody can check out your website and see where you're playing and what's going on, and then they'll be.
We'll be announcing the things for the new CD.
New CD.
And that type of thing.
Okay.
And, we're excited to get it out there.
Can't wait.
My body's changing, but my mind still thinks the same. An old man told my daddy on a bench one day,